I'm Dr. Jordin Wiggins, and this is the Pleasure Principles podcast. Join me on this journey where sex, science, and sensuality meet. Let's change the conversation around sex and pleasure together. Hello, Superwomen. I'm coming to you from the depths of burnout, the holiday season, personal stuff, my daughter being sick. I could not even decide on what podcast to record for you all. I was back and forth between two. And what do we know? This decision fatigue. What do we know that is a sign of? Feminine burnout. So thinking of all of you and how much you have to do, how many extras there are to do in this season. And let's give ourselves a little grace, shall we? So I'm winging it today. We're going to get a wrap up podcast about what I learned this year personally and what I learned this year from working with high achieving women. A lot about me personally. I will share eventually. Had my hairdresser asking me yesterday, like, how have you done it? How have you kept it all together? And the truth is, relying on the things that I teach, opening more than ever, receiving more than ever, connecting more than ever. There's been more hurt, more joy, more fear, more abundance. There's just been more of all of it. Mostly more peace, more presence, like being happy for literally no reason, being present, being content, and not because something amazing happened. Sometimes there was a lot of really horrific things happening. And I will share, I teach from scars, not wounds. And some of this is still legally going on, but like you will not believe it when I tell you. So anyways, my story to be continued, but what I want to share is that it seems like it's been a year for a lot of people. And there's some themes that I have seen with my clients, with the women in the mentorship, and I want to share them here with you. So number one, stop settling out of fear. I've spoken to so many of you lately, applying to the feminine mentorship, applying to coach one-on-one with me. And so many of you are terrified of softening because we get on that treadmill, right? And the speed gets turned up slowly, or we're the frog and the heat is turned up slowly. But it's like, what happens if I get off the treadmill? What is the price that I'm going to pay for taking off the Superwoman cape, for letting the walls down? Because we learned from when we were little that this wasn't safe, that we're going to have to give something up, that we can't actually have it all. We have to choose. And this is your trauma talking. This is black and white thinking. So we settle. We tell ourselves lies. Maybe this is good enough. Things are like more stable than they've been. So why do I want more? Why shouldn't I just be happy with what I have? You've done some work on yourself. You set better boundaries. You're a little bit better at asking for what you want. So it's like, I'm good. Why rock the boat? And some of you really know that you need to change, but you want to focus on something that's not the problem. And it's almost like there's this fear. And so many of you voice this on your application calls. So I know that many more of you are feeling it, but it doesn't need to be black and white. We're not ripping off the cape or forcing these walls down. This is not a black and white situation. Our healing happens over time. And that's what healing is. It usually takes longer and it is not linear. And I can say that from working with over 2,000 women in the last 9 years. So, what I want to say to you is, what is the cost of continuing to operate the way you've been operating? What is the cost to continue to deny your desires? Because what do high achieving women really want? And this was clear. This was so clear this year because we got pretty beat up through the pandemic and life lately. So, what do super women desire? They desire to be cared for. They desire to let it all go sometimes, to not have to be always on, thinking ahead, doing. We desire to have somebody pick up the slack for us, to not have to take the lead. And we desire to be pursued, taken, led somewhere that we cannot take ourselves. So, how long are you going to keep living without these desires fulfilled? And what is the plan for 2024? Are we going to keep denying it? We're going to keep pretending we don't want these things? Loneliness is the equivalent of smoking 15 cigarettes a day. This is affecting your health. We know this. It's causing feminine burnout. If you have not, listen to episode 114, Save Your Health and Relationships, 3 Signs You Need to Treat Your Feminine Burnout. This is describing all of you, the DMs that I'm getting, the women on the application, they're like, you are talking about my life. Everything that you say resonates, or like most of what you say is spot on. And it is so nice to know I'm not alone. So I want you to know that this belief that we can't have it all, this fear that we have of softening, of doing things a different way, this is our trauma talking. The work is not going to be hard and scary, and you're thrust into something that's going to resurface all your shit. It's lies. It's the belief that we can't have it all. It's the belief that we have to give something up, that we're going to have to trade something. Women will literally get on calls with me and say, like, well, I don't want to give up all my success. No one said that you had to, well, okay, society and, our trauma and our beliefs said that, but that is not the case, which brings me to point or theme number 2 for the year for 2023. One of the biggest holes in a superwoman's gas tank is gaslighting. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, a hole in the tank, listen to episode number 117. Part 3 of my series, What Every High Achieving Woman Needs to Know About Pleasure and Intimacy, Why Your Pleasure Tank is Empty. The gaslighting, particularly of women, particularly of, and people with less power, it is so much a part of our culture, our day to day, that we do not even see it. Like when we're in the fishbowl and the tank is dirty and like we don't even know that it's dirty. Gaslighting is a really overused term. And yes, some super women are gaslighters. And when we talk about this and when we work on this, it's either like, oops, I did not mean to be doing this, but it was a coping mechanism for my trauma and we can change our behavior. Or we realize how significantly we are gaslit in our lives. So gaslighting is an insidious form of manipulation and psychological control. And the term gets thrown around more. I think it was Webster's term of the year a few years ago. So we have our social media psychology when we're trying to use things in the wrong way. But gaslighting has 2 things, 2 parts to it, where our experiences, where we're denied our experience, our reality, our perception. We're told that it's wrong. And then there's some also form of dismantling or devaluation that goes along with it. You're obsessive, you're crazy, you're controlling, your expectations are too high, you're impossible to please. So women are gaslit by healthcare. Spoke to a woman yesterday. She's had stomach pain daily for 2 years and they can't find out what's wrong. So she's told, must be in your head. Go see a psychiatrist. We are prescribed antidepressants at 2 times the rate of men. Because again, it's like you can't handle what's going on in your life. You can't cope. You're exhausted. You're overwhelmed. Well, here's your prescription. It's not about looking at our tank. It's not about looking at the holes in our tank. It's not about actually fixing the problem. It's this sort of, oh, well, yeah, you must be depressed or you must need some help coping. But we are not the problem, Superwomen. The system is, for the most part. Or we're told to take birth control for our hormonal concerns, which that is a whole other can of worms. We were gaslit by our parents. Like, no, you're not thirsty. Where we're denied our experience and our needs are minimized, or we were made to feel like too much growing up. You're hormonal. Are you on your period? Like, why are you bringing this up? We are gaslit in relationships. And it's fascinating. It is so fascinating because superwomen are so powerful, especially in career, and it makes us more vulnerable to this type of toxicity, especially in relationships, but also in the workplace because we are empathetic, compassionate, we are people pleasers, we are hardworking, we think that things are our fault and we try and work really hard to fix it. So we're like, we have so much that even we don't think we're getting gaslit. And we have so much success and accreditations and degrees, like whatever our accolades are, like boss bitches here that are significantly gaslit and manipulated in areas that they don't even know that it's a hole in their tank and they don't even know that it is what is contributing to their lack of fulfillment, to their health, their feminine burnout issues. Because it's easy for us to think, oh, maybe I'm responsible or I can work harder to fix this. And it is because we have a history of trauma. We are more likely to doubt ourselves, believe that we are responsible. I'm a very gaslightable person. If something goes wrong, I will always blame myself first. What did I do wrong? What could I have done better? And most of the time, when I've learned how to combat this, it's not like I'm taking responsibility for things that I shouldn't take responsibility for. And this is why so many superwomen are burnt out and so many superwomen are unfulfilled, especially in relationship or when it comes to men. Or I'm working with so many superwomen now that they're just like closed off. They're like, I'm good. Things are as good as ever. Like I don't want to rock the boat. So they're either in a relationship that's improved significantly due to our work together. And then they get to the point that they're like, just gonna, just gonna stop here. Or women that are choosing to be single or just like deny the fact that they do truly desire a partner, fulfillment, to be cared for, because it's like almost easier than being in relationship and being gaslit and being a people pleaser. And so they're avoiding the deeper work, which goes back to point number one. Stop settling out of fear. We're told that we can't have it all. We are being gaslit. Don't get too greedy. Don't be too much. We live in a society where we are either too much or too little. And the third thing that I want to share is that feminine work is not what you think it is. It is so much deeper than we see on social media. What feminine work really is an expression of all that is, an expression of us. of how we are feeling moment to moment in its biggest form. And we forget our divine feminine power, our soft power, that unshakableness, that connection to something greater, because it's not personal power, it is not bossing, controlling ego. Talking about the connection to life giving energy, source energy, the fact that we literally create life in our bodies, and we have lost the perspective of our power. We underestimate how powerful we are, or we let ourselves be powerful in only certain areas. Because again, point number two, we have been gaslit into thinking that we can't have it all, or we have to trade something. And point number one, we are denying our desires out of fear and trauma. So I do not want you to underestimate how powerful you are in the lives of everyone you encounter, and especially men. I see so many superwomen, like when our trauma comes up, when our fear comes up, we collapse into, I'm not important. And we settle. And we settle for not having those desires met. So we need to put on our crowns and remember our power and remember our divinity in a society that is constantly telling us we are too much or telling us we are too little. If we are not safely in the box that was created for us, that's going to keep us exhausted, that's going to keep us burnt out, that's going to keep us crusty and snippy, because our needs are not being met. Our tanks are empty. And then we get blamed. We get blamed. We get blamed for wanting to break out of the cage. We get blamed for staying in the cage and being miserable. And it's a game that I'm just not willing to play anymore. And neither are my clients. So I want to remind you how important you are, how significant you are. You have so much power, and you are only connected to half of it when you're not connected to your feminine. We cannot be fully connected to our power when we're burnt out. When we are burnt out, nothing works. And we need to learn how to take exquisite care of ourselves, exquisite care of our tanks. And so much of the problem, like, it's, how did I end up here? Or you've got things in such a delicate balance. You're like, well, I'm at a half tank right now, and I've never been at a half tank. Things are going like okay, but you still have holes in the tank and you're leaking like a sieve, and you are expending so much energy filling the tank constantly that you don't even realize it. Like, honestly, it makes me so sad and so angry at the same time that this systematic denial of our experience and how many people benefit from us having our capes on and having us be unfulfilled. I could scream and cry, scream, cry at the same time. But the fulfillment you seek, it is not done alone. This is not a journey that you can go on as a lone wolf. It happens in community, and it happens in relationship, because there's three things. There's us and how we relate to ourselves. There's us and how we relate to our partner in like the relationship. And then there's something about fulfillment in partnership, in community, that connects you to something greater, something to the universal level, like this self-actualization, this game of life that we are all playing, what we are all secretly seeking, the fulfillment, the pleasure. It can't be done alone. It needs to be done in community. And it cannot be done disconnected from your feminine, disconnected from half of your power. At this point in time, I have 5 spots left for the feminine mentorship. 12 months, 15 women, life-changing community, life-changing approach to this work that is not scary, that is more healing, more therapeutic, than you can imagine. And you've made up this belief that if we open Pandora's box, everything is going to fall apart. Or you've hit a pleasure threshold. You're like, I'm good. Things have never been this good before. But you are still not fulfilled. And my work speaks to you. The way that I have designed it, the online portion, our workshops, the skill salons, the in-person retreats, this is going to fix your tank. We're going to solve problems. We're going to fix holes that you did not even know were there. And our superwoman brain is going to tell us lies about how we should do it next year or like, why should we spend this money on ourselves? No, 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 no. We can have it all. And if my work speaks to you, let's just have a conversation. And it's going to be easier and more fun than you ever thought possible. And the reason why you're applying is this is a highly curated group of women. And I'm very protective of where everyone is at and what they need, and that we're all going to get the most out of this. And if this group isn't a fit for you, then I'm going to tell you what is. Maybe it's working one-on-one with me or my foundational program or somebody else. But if my work speaks to you and you are called to apply, just do it. Like, what is your plan for 2024? What's going to happen? You're going to be in the same place or worse, because I've been doing this long enough that I have applicants that were like, I wanted to do it last year and I made excuses, and I was starting to make excuses again. And I've gained 10 more pounds and my relationship is on the brink, or I'm just still plateaued. I've just still hit my pleasure plateau. So 5 spots left. Get your application in. I'm not doing calls over the holidays. So we start at the end of January. We still have time. So don't use that as an excuse of like, I'm too busy to get this done for myself. No, 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 no. Apply. Apply. Let me help you. Let's not make 2024 a repeat of 2023. And let's have fulfillment in a way that feels safe to your nervous system. I would love, love, love to help you on that journey. Happy holidays to all of you. Please send this to a superwoman that needs to hear it, and cannot wait to connect with you again in the new year. Have a great week, everybody. If you like what you heard in this episode, leave me a rating. Your support helps me get discovered by more women like you. Together, we can change the conversation around women's sexual health and pleasure for you, your partners, and generations to come.